Hey guys, Ranchin here, bringing you all stock of commentary. This is going to be the fourth set. My god, will this never end. This is going to be the fourth set between Flash and Fantasy in the Bigfile MSL semifinals. Fantasy managing to get a win after being 2-0 under. Will he get back into this? 4, 3, 2, 1, go is the big question. Never stop for anything. This is going to be on odd eye 3. And this could be insane. Lower right hand position. Ooh, change of colors on me. Thanks, guys. Lower right hand position in yellow. We're going to have Flash, the 5 o'clock. Up to the left hand, the upper left hand position at 11 o'clock in red. Fantasy. Some more TVT action for you guys. Let's hope this time around it doesn't last a decade, eh? But very interesting matchup last time. Very chess matchy, very crazy. Fantasy bringing some flair at the very end with some battle cruisers and Valkyries of all things. Losing his entire battle cruiser fleet to a massive Wraith attack, but Flash with that Wraith attack pretty much dooming himself. It's kind of insane with those long-winded TVT games. You just kind of lose control. Who's ahead? And I've added the second part of my trilogy, or rather trinity, or triangle, whatever, to be able to commentate StarCraft well. Booze. One nice cold beer there to keep me going late into the night. So I'm going to continue casting this, finish this off, and then just sit here and wait for the source vids for... Basically, wait for the videos for Jadong versus Light to appear. I can't cast it yet because I still don't have the VODs, and I won't be able to cast it until I get my hands on said VODs. Basie is dead or something. I don't know what he's doing, but I only have Team Liquid videos right now, and you know, they come in late. Not the most reliable thing on the planet. Basie was always very reliable, but something has apparently come up. So we're not getting any videos from him. So sorry guys that it's coming in late. This is partial me having a life, partial me being sick, partial videos coming in late. Did see Flash put up a barracks. I'm not quite sure if Fantasy has actually done the same thing. Seems like he's actually just going to go for 14cc. You crazy, crazy boy, you. He's like, you know what? I just need an economic advantage right off the bat. I need it. And I don't think Flash is crazy enough to try to go for a cheese to, you know, bend it all on that. So, yeah, I'm just going to do this. So we're going to be seeing whether this actually pays off at all or not. And I'm actually very surprised how I have completely managed to avoid spoilers for this series. I don't know how, but I've completely managed to avoid spoilers. So I have actually no idea how this is all going to turn out. So I am extremely happy with that. Cheers. Cheers to people, and as always, people showing off. Look, I paid money to come here. I really did. Yeah. Boy, always with a train to. I paid money to come here. Yeah. Screw you guys. I'd go watch StarCraft for free. Yeah. Flash meanwhile just gonna go for exactly the same opening he's been going for. 1 racks into Expo with a bunker at the front. He really likes this thing here. While Fantasy actually reading this and going for a command center to start things off just right away. Flash's own command center not too far behind, although he's going to be floating it off for safety, but his factory is going to be ahead. Although Fantasy is going to be able to get a significant economic lead early on. We're exactly going to see what's going to happen on this map. I think vultures are often very heavy in use on this map, so we often see some early vulture action in TVTs. It kind of reminds me of Carthage in that a little bit. And Carthage, another map there where TVTs often had a lot of vultures to start off and stay that way for a while. Well, 2 factories coming up here for Flash. It does seem like we're going to be seeing some early vulture action, and might be seeing exactly the same here from Fantasy. If he decides to play defensively, though, he might instead opt to go for siege tanks just to hold off. And it's not going to allow him to get map control, but he's going to be able to hold off fairly well with just a few siege tanks. Vultures really won't be able to, excuse me, get through, but actually going for a second factory, so it doesn't look like that's what he's going to be going for. Just adding an academy right now, and additional supply depots, I believe, and I'm going to get another sip of my beer. Yum, 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 yum. Did see Fantasy put up a second refinery also, so he's trying to catch up in gas pretty quickly. Getting an armory already. And an academy, so he might be expecting Wraiths again. While on the opposite side from Flash, we actually see 2 machine shops being added in, so he also putting up an army. So this might actually not be vultures at all from these guys. Gonna be interesting to see what exactly they go for. Oh god, I apologize. I should be shot. But yeah, both guys just kind of settling into a groove for now. Armories, factories. Gonna be seeing what they actually decided to go very quick armories. So I might be seeing some quick tank production. Doesn't seem like Flash is going to go straight into tank. Just an additional academy out there for him as well. Not even sure whether he went for an for a vulture to start things off. Did see Fantasy at the very least getting a vulture out there before he did anything else. His armory almost up there. Adding in a 3rd and a 4th factory. This is of course that little advantage that a 14cc gives you. You get to add in that 3rd and 4th factory nice and early. Didn't see a single machine shop from him quite yet, so we're going to see exactly what he goes for here. Flash adding in some Goliaths in there just in case he's going to be forced. He's going to be faced with some aerial forces. Both players just being very wary of possible Wraith action from the other guy. And Fantasy seems like he's just going for a few vultures, start things off, adding additional factories to the moment. Has 2 machine shops, so he should be getting for some tanks, gearing up for some tanks as well, but probably not going to be seeing any early dropship play from him. And I'm actually surprised that he hasn't at any point gone for any early dropship play, like quick vulture drops, because it really is part of his play and the rest of his matchups. He's gone for early vulture drops against Protoss. I believe I've seen him even doing against a Zerg player. Against Zerg players, so it's part of his strategy. He has a few vultures just milling around the map, and just staying at that 4 o'clock position, just making sure that they have making sure he has a spot on that case that comes in. Meanwhile, also going to expand the 12, so not only goes for 14cc, I'm sorry, 12 hatch, almost said 12 hatch, 14cc, has speed on his vultures right now, and also picking up the 12 o'clock position for himself. So I was actually wondering, seems like he's getting additional vultures. Can't quite spot from here. Flash, meanwhile, kicking in with a bunch more factories. Fantasy just kind of hoping to out-macro his opponent by keeping up some vultures, getting some mines out there as well. So planning on mines, going to try to keep the 12 o'clock position safe and sound, and just adding in additional mines in here, just trying to hold Flash back as long as humanly possible. Those mines being taken out pretty quickly, and Fantasy just losing some of these vultures as he does that. But plants mines across, so you can kind of spot when Flash goes for that 4 o'clock position. Does seem like the best idea to try to go for him here, trying to move in through with his vultures, but Flash had his own vultures waiting. Actually kind of forced to pause across the middle of the map without doing too much as that attack went in, but doesn't look like Fantasy's going to be able to penetrate that natural expansion too well. He has some of his own tanks finally milling out across the map, has some mines to protect them, and still kind of milling around with his own vultures trying to defend himself. Should be planting some mines close to the 12 o'clock position yet again, trying to get some forces in close to that, because it does seem like Flash is going to want to put some pressure on that. How successful he's going to be at that is going to be a question. Vulture's going to come in across. Tanks are in position for Fantasy. Might be there just in the nick of time to help him fight back this Vulture pressure. Flash has his own mines in play, though. Goliath's coming in alongside tanks. Is Flash going to have enough? More Vultures coming in for Fantasy. Also, SCV's coming off the line. He's going to need everything he has to fight this back. He's trying to take this Hulk position for himself. It's a critical base. Flash still doesn't seem to have siege mode at this point yet, though, while Fantasy has kicked in, so he's going to be able to at least hold this off for now. And meanwhile, denying the 3rd base for Flash. But if he manages to get this base up and get it running, fully saturating it and keeping it running for a while, his economy really is going to be superior to Flash. He really is going to hit a strong economic point because he had that natural expansion quicker than Flash, and it seems like he has the additional base also quicker, so just needs to start pumping troops like crazy, adding additional factories, pumping troops, working on that, and might take advantage of this. Has some vultures out there with speed and mines, and siege mode with tanks. No Goliaths, but doesn't really seem like Flash can need those Goliaths from him, because it seems like Fantasy just etching to keep this Vulture and tank heavy. The attack going to come in from Flash here, going to try to plant down some mines, going to try to come in close and pick off these tanks. Mines aren't really getting the drags in as it needs to. Those 2 siege tanks for Fantasy still taking play, but how long he's trying to reinforce right now with additional siege tank coming in from the back, losing all the siege tanks at the front. Both players have lost all the siege tanks. Fantasy, meanwhile, gonna keep the siege tanks at 12 o'clock, but the mines are going down. Oh, man! Did you see those vultures coming in at the last second and picking off the mine? Oh, beautiful. Flash, meanwhile, going to take the opportunity to pick up his 3rd base at the 4 o'clock position, but still going to run across and try to pressure the north side of the map. Absolutely beautiful defensive play there from Fantasy. Barely managed to keep that back, but now got to hit in, add in a bunch of factories. Seems like he's going to hit up to 7 factories at this point. And the Trollcock position really coming in handy, saving those 2 tanks there at in the nick of time. It's like watching an outfielder just stretching himself out fully to catch a ball that would have just dropped down and been a double or a triple or whatever. Baseball terms, very nice, very nice. Seems like Flash is gonna be a little crazy and actually gonna expand towards the upper right-hand position. Whether Fantasy has his number on that, I don't know. He seems like he's just going to try to move across the map, though. Has a superior tank position, but keeping them all at the front, allowing these vultures just rain constant fire on them. Not the best thing to do. Oh, still keeping his tanks in there, but only 2 of them. Reinforcements coming in from the back, so this might actually save him. Also getting his Marines into the game. Flash with only a single tank in there. Not enough. Not enough, my friend. Not enough. Sorry. Almost managing to get it done, but not quite. And what's he gonna do? Fantasy just gonna move across the map. Tanks and vultures leading the charge. Just gonna go in straight to the right side, try to take the north for himself. Flash is picking up the upper right hand. Hope for his sake he's not stretching himself too thin. He's trying to keep up economically, trying to take an advantage in that. But Fantasy meanwhile just producing a heavy amount, and he needs to go and deny that upper right hand. He does not want to allow Flash to get that to kick in. The double gas could be a significant factor in the game. Still going to try to put on some pressure, utilize his vultures well enough, trying to get in close, losing all of his tanks, but reinforcing well enough, getting some nice mines across, and picking off all these tanks, and taking control of the entire middle. Flash meanwhile going to try to come in and reinforce all of his tanks. No! Oh, losing one of his tanks, scanning, but spotting nothing. Fantasy moving in with vultures, trying to get some mines across. Only tanks. He's going to be able to get in these mines. No mine drags. But coming in, pressuring. Actually has his tanks across the bridge and outnumbering Flash. Flash is reinforcements coming in, but Fantasy just all of his vultures streaming to reinforce his tanks. That's going to be enough. Thinking Meister should pick up his focal position. Meanwhile, Flash just canceled the base at the upper right hand. Has forced himself to get as many reinforcements as humanly possible. But now Fantasy doing absolutely beautiful pressure attack here at the forecourt position. Vultures at the front, siege tanks at the back. Knows that if he actually keeps this up, if he actually manages to pick off this base to do the damage, he'll actually take a significant advantage in this game and might even win it right here, because it seems like he is producing at a higher rate, getting close enough with his vultures. Mine's going to come down. Mine going to pick off one of the tanks. Flash meanwhile going to get some reinforcements in there. NSCV is getting close to the tanks. Vultures coming in from the back to support, but I think Flash for now is going to be able to hold this, though. Fantasy only with a couple of tanks on top of the bridge. Threatening but not winning. But just keeping constant pressure. Has picked up the 1230 position for himself, so that's yet another base. And actually going for a Wraith. That's very interesting. One single Wraith from one starport. Seems like he just wants that as a spotter to support himself, because he sees no Goliaths on the ground, so try to find an opening with that. Vultures yet again just threatening, going in through, planting mines around. This might be seeing some SCVs death right there. SCVs! Not too many actually going down, but mines in place. Some mines are going to get scanned and picked up, but Flash still looking like he's in a lot of trouble, losing some forces. Fantasy. Oh my god, is Fantasy picking up the upper right hand, or is he fighting? I think he's actually picking up the upper right hand for himself, just to expand all over the place, keep up the constant pressure. Going to see a starport coming up on the opposite side for Flash. This might actually be for dropships. Maybe for the rest of the draw, but it might be for dropships. Now Fantasy has forced the flow out of the 4-cock position. He has Wraiths that will come into play in any minute, and that's going to deny any maneuverability for Fantasy. For Flash, if that's exactly what he's going to do. Flash going to try to sneak a base at this lower left hand. He only has 2 bases mining at this point. Fantasy has 4. One of them is a mineral only, but that's not a factor right now. He's keeping constant production. Doing an absolutely beautiful job of keeping ahead. Both players, think, actually have weapons 1 at this point. But still, the economic advantage by Fantasy and absolute beautiful moves from him and undeniable. He's doing an absolute great job of taking advantage of this game. Has mines at all the right place at all the right time. Wraith's not going to come into play as well. Going to try to take off that tank. Are going to be successful in that. So just going to try to be annoying. These SCVs actually should be able to repair these tanks faster than these Vulture Wraiths can take them. But Flash, GG's in that. Doesn't really want to fight from a hopeless situation, heavily outnumbered, so just gonna, you know, screw it. Get my mojo back on, go pee or something, and get my mojo back on and win this thing. So Fantasy 2-0 under has evened it up. Will we see another comeback, something like the, say, I don't know, the OSL Finals? Don't know. We'll see. GG guys, ranching out this listening. Hope you enjoyed.